That, my friends, is how to make a bomb freaking meal that's not chicken breast and rice and broccoli, but that actually tastes freaking good, that lets you eat potatoes, that lets you eat a more delicious protein source. I want to break down exactly what it means to burn more calories than you're consuming in order to lose weight. Because there are so many things that are involved when it comes to trying to lose weight. It's not simply about eating as little as possible or exercising as much as possible. There's more to it. Let me break it down. When it comes to losing weight, there's so much more that goes on. It's not just about eating as little as possible in an effort to lose weight. It's not just about eating only freaking salads in an effort to lose weight. There's this thing called calories out versus calories in, okay? The calories out part of that equation is comprised of 4 things. Not just how many calories we're burning after running on the treadmill or after doing 30 minutes on the Stairmaster. Those 4 things are basal metabolic rate, your thermic effect of food, your exercise activity, and your non-exercise activity thermogenesis. So let's talk about each one. Because as we talk about each one, it's going to relate back to a calorie deficit. When we manipulate these 4 things, we will help create a calorie deficit. We don't just create a calorie deficit by exercising as much as we can, by eating as little as possible. Again, I'm repeating myself because this is important to understand. Number 1, your basal metabolic rate. This is just how many calories you burn throughout the day, literally at complete rest. That's it. You can lay in bed, do absolutely nothing, and your body will burn calories just keeping you alive. But we can actually manipulate this number. If you have more muscle mass, your basal metabolic rate will be higher. If you have less muscle mass, your basal metabolic rate will be lower. So, what helps build muscle mass? Lifting weights. Not cardio, lifting weights. Resistance training. Following a training program that allows you to progressively overload and get better, get stronger, okay? Resistance training is key here. Not just nutrition, but resistance training is key here for building muscle. And if you have more muscle mass, fat loss is going to be a lot easier for you, okay? So that's number 1, basal metabolic rate. It's a set number. Based on your genetics, it could be higher, it could be lower. But if you actively engage in lifting weights, you will be able to manipulate that number in a positive direction. Number 2, let's actually go to the kitchen for that. The thermic effect of food. Why is this important? Because it's going to significantly impact our ability to lose body fat. Everything we eat, whether it's this orange, whether it's some honey, whether it's some peanut butter, our body actively burns calories simply digesting that, okay? But how can we manipulate this to support us and benefit us in trying to lose weight? One macronutrient of all 3 actually burns more calories while we digest it. And that is, if you haven't guessed it already, protein. So, chicken thighs, maybe this protein bar, or maybe it's the protein powder. But protein, the macronutrient protein, is actually more thermogenic than carbs and fats, which is why you see people advocating for a higher protein diet, which is why I advocate for it. A higher protein diet will help you lose body fat because you're going to just simply burn more calories digesting that food. And that is why people who follow a high protein diet tend to make fat loss easier. It comes easier for them simply because we're eating more protein. So the current recommendation for protein intake in the US is far below any benefits when it comes to fat loss. Right now, it is at 0.8 grams per kilogram of body weight. That's very, very low. What I actually advocate for is trying to at least hit 1 gram per pound of body weight in protein. If you don't want to go that high, simply do 0.8 per pound of body weight in protein. Okay, so I weigh about 159 pounds. I'm simply going to eat 159 grams of protein so that I can reap the benefits of that higher thermogenesis when it comes to eating. So we talked about two things so far: basal metabolic rate and how we can manipulate that by increasing our muscle mass via resistance training. But guess what also influences how much muscle we're able to build? Protein. So, which is why, yet again, protein is super important. It's a building block. Okay, a building block for fat loss. There are levels to this. It's not simply about eating less calories. It's about manipulating these variables to help further and advance our efforts when it comes to weight loss. So BMR and thermic effective food are the first two. Now, what's the third one? Let's go back upstairs. So the third one is non-exercise activity thermogenesis. This is calories burned throughout the day that are not related to exercise. So things like scratching your head, blinking, typing on the keyboard, I don't know, tapping your fingers, like if it's a habit or something. Maybe it's you just simply tapping your leg because also it's a habit. Any movement that your body does, that your body creates, is considered non-exercise activity thermogenesis. So calories burned that are not related to exercise. And now, why is this important? Well, when we actively are trying to lose weight, and if we're tracking our calories, doing everything right, our body will adapt. Our body adapts. That's just a natural thing that happens. So let's say you were eating 2,300 calories before you started dieting. You then started dieting and you went down to 1,800 calories. And you've been there for a good 12 weeks. You suddenly are going to stop losing weight. That's a given. Your body will adapt to those calories, and 1,800 calories will be your new maintenance calories, okay? It's just simple physiology. Your body will become more efficient at not burning calories. So one way to get your calorie expenditure up is by simply getting up and just moving about, moving the body a little more, okay? Now, yes, getting up and moving would technically be like considered exercise, but there isn't really a way to increase your non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Like, you can't be actively tapping your leg a lot more, right? It just sounds absurd. So one thing that I like to do, simply because I work from home, is I raise this desk up and I pull out my walking pad that's under my desk, just to simply get more steps in. So we set the walking pad up and we simply turn this shit on. And by simply moving our body more, just walking more, we'll be able to burn just a little bit more calories and actually help create a calorie deficit, help create fat loss. So movement, okay? Increasing your movement is key when it comes to weight loss, when it comes to trying to just lose that stubborn belly fat. So again, yes, this may be considered exercise, but we can't necessarily manipulate our non-exercise activity thermogenesis. We can simply burn more calories and offset the adaptations that occur in our body by simply walking more, getting more movement in, doing more chores around the house, moving your body more. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say. Moving your body more, making an investment like I did here and purchasing a walking pad. If you work from home, purchase a walking pad. I believe it's one of the best investments you can make when it comes to your fitness journey. So that is number 3, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Now, what's number 4? Well, I kind of already touched on it, and it's simply exercise activity thermogenesis. That's number 4. However, it actually may surprise you that engaging in resistance training or any exercise in general doesn't necessarily burn as many calories as your watch says you do, okay? Your watch it could be up to 30% off, okay? And it could say that you burn 500 calories on the Stairmaster, but in reality, you probably only burn 10% of that. So don't listen to the watch. Don't focus your energy on the calories you're burning on exercise. Instead, focus on everything I just discussed. Resistance training to build more muscle, eating more protein to burn more calories and build more muscle, increasing your activity by simply walking more, And then that fourth piece, just keep doing what you're doing. Keep walking, keep exercising, keep lifting weights, and you will see that you will start to make the progress that you want to make, okay? So yes, we like to focus a lot on the calories we burn after an exercise, but you're putting so much emphasis on that you're forgetting to put emphasis on everything else. And that's why you're likely stuck. You're likely not making progress because you're putting so much emphasis on trying to burn as many calories. And that shouldn't be the case. Weight loss is more complex than that. Okay? There's so much more that goes on with weight loss. Because at the end of the day, what really matters for weight loss is that you're in a calorie deficit, which brings me to the next part of the equation, the calories in side of the equation. How do we ensure that we're in a calorie deficit? Let's go back to the kitchen. The only way to make sure that we're actually in a calorie deficit, that we're actually losing weight, is by quantifying what we're putting inside our mouths, okay? And so that will come from using a food scale like I have here, where you say peel an orange and you actually weigh it out, okay? You take this cookie butter and you actually weigh out how much you're eating, where you, again, take this peanut butter and actually weigh out what you're eating. And then using an app like MyFitnessPal, which is what I have all my clients use, to quantify how many calories you're actually consuming. And this will open your eyes when it comes to how many calories you're actually eating, because chances are you're overeating calories. Even though you think you're in a calorie deficit, you can eat clean all you want. You can eat all the freaking avocado toast that you want. But if you're not in a calorie deficit, you simply will not lose weight. So how do I get started with tracking calories? Simple. Download MyFitnessPal, go buy a food scale, and that's all you have to do. Trial and error. It's going to get a little tough at first, but with practice, with patience, and with discipline and just consistency, grit, it's going to get easier, okay? It's going to get freaking easier. So let me quickly show you how I go about tracking my calories for lunch right now. I haven't had lunch, so let's show you in real time how I go about tracking my calories. We're going to make some chicken, and we're going to make some potatoes. We're also going to add some healthy fats in the form of avocado. And we're going to track those things in MyFitnessPal. And I'm going to show you how easy it is to track your calories. So let's do it. So like I said, potatoes, chicken thighs, avocado. That's it. I'm also going to add some salad on the side, just some regular lettuce, okay? I'm getting my fiber in through the avocado, and I'm getting my fats in through the avocado. So this is a meal that satisfies me, and that just simply works for me. And I have this often. I simply repeat meals, and that's what helps me reach my goals, because it's meals that are easily to track. And I'm going to show you how easy it is to track a meal, okay? So don't be scared of tracking calories. It's the greatest tool you can utilize for losing weight and keeping that weight off forever. So let's do it. We're gonna weigh out 300 grams of potatoes. Again, take your food scale, put the vessel on it, tear it out, change this to grams. That's what I like to track my potatoes as. Because once I go and track it in MyFitnessPal, all I'm simply gonna do is compare this nutrition label with what MyFitnessPal says, and I'll just simply adjust on MyFitnessPal accordingly. So let's weigh out 300. $295. Let's do 325, okay? We're just gonna chop this up real quick. 325 grams. Because we're gonna air fry these, and they'll cook up within like 15 or so minutes, okay? So I'm gonna show you what seasonings I use on my potatoes, okay? And I wanna help you realize that you do not have to eat boring chicken breast, plain rice, and boring broccoli in order to lose weight. That just sounds horrible. You can eat potatoes, and honestly, they're actually healthier because they fill you up more. You'll be more satiated eating potatoes over eating rice or eating bread. And if hunger is something that you struggle with, if you're always hungry, having more potatoes will help fix that problem. Because after a meal with a lot of potatoes, it's a lot of volume, you're going to feel fuller, okay? So potatoes, I feel, are hugely underrated, okay? Hugely underrated, especially in like the fitness community. Everyone's just eating plain white rice. Hell no, that's not me, fuck that. Okay. All right, those are chopped. They're going back in. We're gonna spray these. You know what, first let's go ahead and preheat our air fryer. All right, so again, 15 minutes at 400 degrees. Okay, it's gonna preheat. Once it's ready to go, it's gonna beep at me and I'll just add them in quickly. All right, so to season this, we're simply gonna add some cooking spray. Just a light coating, nothing too crazy. That's it. Nothing too crazy. Toss them up, get them nice and coated. There we go. And we're going to season this with simply salt, black pepper, and paprika. That is it. It's gonna taste phenomenal, especially in the air fryer. Okay, so that's ready to go inside the air fryer. They're already seasoned. They're already sprayed with some cooking spray. So all we gotta do is just toss them in there and let them go for like 15 to 20 minutes. Or depending on how crispy you want them. So while that cooks, let's weigh out our chicken thighs and season that well as well. So let's do it. Again, we're gonna take our food scale. We're gonna put any plate on top of it, tear that out. For chicken thighs, I like weighing this in ounces, so we're gonna simply change the units to ounces. So we changed that to ounces and we're just simply gonna weigh out. I'm gonna aim for about 6 ounces of chicken thigh, okay? So this small chicken thigh weighs 4.4 ounces. I want a little bit more. Let's see what this weighs out to. 8.10. We're gonna cut just a little bit off of this one and see what that gives us. 6.35, 6.45. I'll take that. We're just simply going to, we're actually gonna fillet this just more thinly so that it cooks faster and more evenly, okay? That's just how I'd like to do my chicken fillets. For seasonings, all we're going to use is salt, black pepper, paprika, and garlic powder. That's it. It's gonna come out fire. Salt. Salt these babies. All right, never mind. I don't have garlic powder, so we'll just leave it at salt, black pepper, and paprika. That's it. All right, that's seasoned. So now let's spray our griddle with some cooking spray. That'll probably cook in like 10 minutes. I don't know, 5 minutes inside. So we'll let that go for now. And while that cooks and while my potatoes cook, let's track this food in real quick, okay? It's gonna be freaking easy. So in order to track this, okay, it's gonna be the easiest thing ever. We're gonna open up MyFitnessPal. I'll screen record this so you guys can see it as I'm doing this. So we open up MyFitnessPal. This is my meal number 2. We're gonna click add food. We're gonna search up Little Potato Company. And since I've been eating this already, it's already in my history right at the top. I'm gonna click that, change the serving size to 1 gram because I weighed this out in grams, and I'm gonna track 325 grams of potatoes. So 325 grams of potatoes is 270 calories, 47 grams of carbohydrate, and about 6 grams of protein. We're gonna check that in. Simple. Now let's track our chicken thighs. And because I've already eaten chicken thighs before, it's going to come up in my history. Chicken. We're gonna look for it, that bottom one right there. Chicken thigh, meat only, raw, from the USDA database. We're gonna click on it, and we weighed out 6.45 ounces, okay? Again, the serving size is already at 1 ounce. If you need to change that to grams because you tracked in grams, you can change that to grams. But I like tracking my meats in ounces. So I'm gonna choose 1 ounce and change that to 6.45 ounces. Check that in, and it's in. Easy. Now, we're also having avocado. Okay, we're gonna have some avocado right now, and I'm just simply gonna pre-track this before weighing it out, and I'll just, if it ends up being that I eat more of it, then we'll just adjust it. So, avocado. Again, I've already eaten avocado, so it's in my history. That first one. We're going to track, let's do 2.25 ounces, okay? We'll do that, and we'll check it in. So, this meal right now, 530 calories, and 43 grams of protein. Let's see how it comes out. So let's plate up right now. The food's already tracked. That's how easy it is to track your calories. While it cooks, you can track your calories, so you have no excuse. Tracking your calories is going to be the bridge between no progress and making progress. So let's go flip our chicken thighs and toss our potatoes as well. Oh yeah. They are crisping up, and I like to see that. Give them a good toss, and then just put them back in there and let the time run out. That's it. Chicken thighs, we're simply gonna flip them. Damn. Let's weigh out our avocado right now. Let's aim for 2.25 ounces, like I said. Let's use this one. $2.25. That's what we're looking for. There we go. Yeah, they're done. So if you can see that, crispy. Crispy. Oh, I lost a potato in there. There we go. Haha. All right, and then chicken is done as well. Can you see that? See how crispy that looks? Juicy too. And so that, my friends, is how to make a bomb freaking meal that's not chicken breast and rice and broccoli, but that actually tastes freaking good, that lets you eat potatoes, that lets you eat a more delicious protein source, and that lets you eat some fat sources. So I showed you how to track your calories easily. Now I'm gonna fill up and be full up until my next meal. Okay, so this is how we create a calorie deficit. This is how we make progress on our fitness journey. Dialing in on our nutrition by cooking foods that help us feel full, and utilizing MyFitnessPal and utilizing a food scale to accurately track our calories to ensure we're in a calorie deficit. So this is the way, okay? This is the easiest way. This is how we fast track our progress. So let me take a couple pictures of this because this looks good, and I'll conclude the video. But now the question is, how does it taste? Well, you saw how I cut into that already, so. Oh my God. Absolutely fire. Avocado. Crispy potatoes. You can use some sugar-free ketchup on this, sugar-free barbecue sauce on this, maybe even some guac that you can add on to this as well. Yeah, this is fire. Absolutely delicious. Look at that. Oh man. Absolutely fire. So, what did we learn today? You can eat foods that you actually love and that actually taste good. Weight loss isn't just about eating less food, eating nothing but salads, over-exercising yourself. There's so much more that goes on with weight loss, okay? Because you can still enjoy your life trying to lose weight, but all you gotta focus on is a couple of things. First and foremost, nutrition. Making sure that we're eating foods that help us feel full, like this. Utilizing MyFitnessPal to track your calories to ensure we're in a calorie deficit. Making sure that we're resistance training, lifting weights so that we manipulate our basal metabolic rate. The more muscle mass we have, the more calories we're gonna burn at complete rest. Making sure that we're eating enough protein. I weighed out 6.4 ounces of chicken thighs. That gave me a good 40-ish grams of protein, maybe even 50-ish grams of protein. 1 gram per pound of body weight is a good goal to aim for. Aim for that. And that's how we're going to manipulate our basal metabolic rate. Eating more protein will also help us burn more calories because protein, this chicken thigh, our body will burn more calories digesting this as opposed to carbohydrates or fats. There's a reason why bodybuilders eat a lot of protein. There's a reason why fit people eat a high protein diet because it helps burn more calories naturally. On top of this, we're simply aiming to get more steps in throughout the day to increase our energy expenditure because as we try to lose weight, our body adapts, okay? And it adapts to those low calories we've been at for a long time already. In order to offset that adaptation, we simply gotta just move our body more. I purchased a walking pad for under my desk. So when I need to get steps in, I simply turn that on, I raise up my standing desk, and I start walking and I get more steps in. And that's how I'm able to just simply burn more calories. And then finally, just keep exercising the way you are, okay? Keep doing what you're doing. Train hard, follow a training program, but incorporate more resistance training and don't worry about how many calories that session burned. Because what really matters is how many calories you're actually eating, okay? So that sums up the video. You got a free recipe as well. You got a free recipe as well. So I hope this helps. Feel free to let me know if any questions you have in the comments. I'll respond and I'll help you out in any way I can. Follow me on Instagram, Steven the Dietitian. Follow me on TikTok, Steven the Dietitian. I post a lot about my life, my bodybuilding journey, how I go about helping my clients as well. Tons of free resources, tons of free value. If you want to join my mailing list, it's going to be linked in the description below. Sign up. I send out free resources almost every week, so don't miss out on that. It's free value for you guys. So subscribe, like the video. It definitely helps out a lot. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.